Good evening. This is the fourth session of the second chapter, and the fourth session of the second chapter deals with the topic capacitor. A capacitor is simply a system of two conductors which can store charge and therefore store energy. In your class 12 textbook, they're dealing with parallel plate capacitors. So here we take two metal plates A and B, which are the two metal conductors which have the ability to store charge and therefore store energy. So you can charge these two metal plates by simply connecting it to the terminals of a battery, and if you charge metal A with positive Q, then you charge the metal B also with negative Q, so that the charge density on metal A is plus sigma and the charge density on metal B is minus sigma. Charge density, if you remember, is sigma equal to Q by A epsilon, Q by A, where Q is the charge on the plate and A is the area of that metal plate. Now, looking at this, you know that this is something very similar to a problem that we did in the first chapter. I think the number is 1.24. Please refer to that problem. We have been asked to find the electric field outside the two plates and between the two plates. If you look at that problem again, you will see that we found out that the electric field outside the two plates is 0 and the electric field outside here is also 0. But inside, the electric field is directed from positive to negative and has a magnitude sigma by epsilon 0. This is equal to sigma is Q by A epsilon 0, and this electric field I will denote using E naught, meaning electric field in a medium where it is air or vacuum. So we have the direction of the electric field from the positive plate to the negative plate and the magnitude given by Q by A epsilon 0. I repeat, those who do not know this, please refer to 1.24. We've done the same sum there. Now, we also did the derivation of an equation here like this, minus dV by dx in my second session of the video, and I told you that the negative sign indicates that the direction of electric field will be the direction in which potential decreases. So if you see an electric field in this direction, it means that the potential goes on decreasing from the positive plate to the negative plate, which means this is at a higher potential, this is at a lower potential. The potential difference between the two plates I am going to take as V, and the distance between the two plates I will take as D, which means that E equal to, if I am simply writing only the magnitude, then dV is the potential difference between the plates, dx will be the distance between the plates, and this is what you have as E naught, the electric field between the plates when the medium is air or vacuum. If I cross multiply, I will have E naught as E naught into D as V, and this I know is Q by A epsilon 0. So Q by A epsilon 0 into D is V, and from this I may write, I'm going to rearrange this and write V into A epsilon 0 by D is equal to Q. I just brought this A epsilon 0 to the right, D here to the denominator, and I may now write Q is proportional to V, simply because this whole thing is a constant. A is the area of the metal plates. It's a constant. When you make the capacitor, the area of the metal plates is a constant. D, the distance between the plates, is also maintained a constant. And the permittivity of the medium is air or vacuum, another constant, 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. So when you make the capacitor itself, you're fixing the plate area, you're fixing the distance between the plates and the medium between the plates. So this whole thing I've taken a constant, and I may write Q proportional to V, or Q is equal to a constant C0 into V, where C0 is called the capacitance of the capacitor, the ability of the capacitor to hold charge, C0, when the medium between the plates is air or vacuum. This capacitance C naught is A epsilon 0 by D. From this equation we see C naught is equal to Q by V. This equation is of great practical importance because it tells you that if the capacitance of the capacitor is high, then you may hold a large amount of charge on the plates at relatively smaller potential difference. So if you have large capacitance, if the ability of the capacitor to hold charge is large, you can store a large amount of charge at low potential difference. This is important to us because from our equation E naught equal to D into V, we know that lower the potential difference, lower is the electric field. Now, if your electric field goes on increasing, as you increase the charge, as you're storing the charge and increases the charge, the electric field also goes on increasing. There is something called as the breakdown limit of the electric field. If it's air or vacuum, the breakdown limit is 3 into 10 raised to 6 Newton per Coulomb. If you increase the electric field, if you go on increasing the charges on the plates and the electric field increases beyond this value, then what happens is the air between the plates will ionize. Ionize meaning the electric field is so high that it can pull out the electrons from the molecules of the air, and these free electrons will neutralize the positive charge and the positive ions will neutralize this negative charge, which means that charges that you've stored on the plates will start leaking. To avoid this leakage, you have to keep the electric field below the breakdown limit. So, by having relatively small potential differences, you may keep the electric field also to levels below the breakdown limit. So, you can store a large amount of charge on the plates of your capacitor if its capacitance is large enough at low voltages, which means at lower electric fields. Then something else you need to know here is, we have this formula C naught equal to Q by V, but C naught is a constant which depends on A epsilon 0 by D. That means as you make the capacitor, you fix the plate area, you fix the distance between the plates, you fix the medium between the plates, your capacitance is a constant. But as you connect the capacitor in an external circuit, if you increase the potential difference, the charges on the plate also will go on increasing, keeping this C naught to be a constant. So that if you are asked to draw a graph between Q and V on the capacitor, you will have a straight line because as Q increases, V also increases, keeping C a constant, which will be given by the slope of the graph. This is not something new. You have learned something very similar to this in Ohm's law, where R is equal to V by I, but R is a constant that depends on rho L by A. So that if you're asked to draw a graph between V and I, then the V and I are directly proportional. The slope of the graph will give you the resistance. So please compare and see that when you connect a resistor into a circuit, the resistance is a constant. It already has a fixed value based on the material of the resistance, based on the length of the resistor and the area of the cross section. It has got a particular value. Let's say it is 2 ohm. Then when you connect this resistor into a circuit, the resistor carries a current when connected to a potential difference V. So if you increase the potential difference, the current will also increase in the circuit, keeping the resistor to be constant at that same value. It can't keep changing. It is already a constant at rho L by A. That's what I've been telling you here. When you're making the capacitor, based on the dielectric medium between the plates, the plate area and the distance between the plates, let's say we have a fixed value of 2 microfarad. Then this will remain a constant. When you connect the capacitor into a circuit, the charge on the metal plates will go on increasing, thereby the potential difference also will go on increasing, keeping the capacitance a constant. So that if you draw a graph between Q and V, that will have, it will be a straight line whose slope will be giving the capacitance of the capacitor. So your capacitance is independent of the charge and the voltage. It depends on A epsilon 0 by D. The SI unit of capacitance is farad, denoted by the letter F. smaller units you have. Microfarad is 10 raised to minus 6 and picofarad is 10 raised to minus 12. You have nanofarad which is 10 raised to minus 9 and so on. You define 1 farad. Your formula is C equal to Q by V. So when you define 1 farad, it is 1 coulomb by 1 volt. Now, next we have a derivation. I told you there are three derivations. So the first one is to derive this expression we already know A epsilon 0 by D, which is a capacitance of a capacitor with air or vacuum between the plates. So that's the first one we're going to do. I'm going to draw my capacitor like this now. This is a capacitor. Instead of drawing like this, I simply drew it like this. So we have this as the positive plate, this as the negative plate. I have an electric field directed from positive to negative, which I will call as E0, simply because the medium between the plates is air. And this we know is Q by A epsilon 0. The distance between the plates I'll take as D, and the potential difference between the plates I'll take as V. Now, from your equation E equal to dV by dx, where I have not written the negative sign, I am only using the magnitudes, I may write between the plates the potential difference is V and the distance between the plates is D. If the medium between the plates is air or vacuum, I will use as E0. Cross multiply and have V equal to E0 into D, or V is equal to, from here, Q by A epsilon 0 into D. What I am going to do is derive an expression for the capacitance which we know as Q by V, right? I am going to substitute V from here so that this is Q into, if I inverse this, this will be A epsilon 0 by Q into D. Cancel this to get C naught as A epsilon 0 by D. So this is our first derivation to derive the expression for capacitance of a capacitor when the medium between the plates is air or vacuum. We have our next derivation, which is the capacitance of a capacitor when you insert a dielectric between the medium. So we go back to our parallel plate. The parallel plate here. The top plate I'll keep as positive and the bottom plate I'll keep as a negative plate. And now I'm going to insert a dielectric in between. So I'm going to keep a dielectric which is not completely filling the space, but it has a thickness which is T, that is less than D, which is the distance between the plates. Now here the electric field is E0, that is, it is air or vacuum. Here also it is air, so E0. But inside the dielectric, we have a new field which is equal to E0 by K. If you do not know this, what's happening here, please go back to the third video. The last section I have discussed about polarization. When you insert a dielectric, there's an original field E0 directed from positive to negative. But inside the dielectric, we have a new field which is in the opposite direction. So the net electric field inside the dielectric is always reduced and the new value will be E0 by K. So please go back to that video and find out how we came to this equation, E equal to E0 by K. So here and here we have air, so I have simply denoted the electric field as E0. But inside the dielectric, it's a new electric field, reduced electric field, E0 by K, because where K is the dielectric constant. Now, I need to derive an expression for capacitance, which we know as Q by V. I need to find an expression for V. V I know is E into D. From E equal to V by D, I know the expression for V is E into D. But there are two electric fields. One which is the electric field in air and the other the electric field inside the dielectric. So, we'll have two terms. I'm going to first write the term E0. So, E0 into the distance in which E0 exists will be d minus t, because E naught exists here, this region and this region, which means the total distance being d, subtract the thickness of the dielectric, you will get the remaining distance in which there is E naught electric field, plus electric field inside the dielectric which exists in a distance t. So in this formula, the distance is t, so E into t. So V here is equal to E naught into d minus t plus, instead of E I may write it as E naught by k into t. V, I can take this E naught outside, bracket d minus t plus t by k, because I've taken this E naught outside. E naught, as you know, is, we already know from the previous derivation, the electric field in air or vacuum is Q by A epsilon 0, bracket d minus t plus t by k. Now I am going to use this V in my equation for capacitance here. So that C is equal to Q into, inverse this and you have A epsilon 0 by Q into d minus t plus t by k. If I cancel this q here, I will have C equal to A epsilon 0 by d minus t plus t by k, which is my final equation for capacitance of a capacitor whenever you have a dielectric inserted between the plates. A is the area of the plate, epsilon 0 is the permittivity of air, d is the distance between the plates, t is the thickness of the dielectric that I inserted, and k is the dielectric constant. I may have a special case here, which is, suppose I completely insert the dielectric to fully fill the space between the plates. That means d and t are the same. Fully inside the two plates, I have completely filled it with dielectric. In that case, we know d equal to t. Then what happens is, here this d and t are the same, so they get cancelled. So I have A epsilon 0 by, this t I will retain as d and this k will go on top as k, so that I now have this as C0 into k. So you see, by inserting a dielectric, I am actually increasing the capacitance of the capacitor k times. So capacitance is the ability of this capacitor to hold charge. So capacitance of the capacitor is increased k times by simply inserting a dielectric between the plates. So capacitance means the ability of this capacitor to hold charge, and if you insert a dielectric completely between the two plates, you can increase the capacitance of the capacitor. From this equation, you will also need to know how to define dielectric constant K. K from this equation you see is C by C0. Also from the previous session on polarization, we wrote E equal to E0 by K. From this equation, we may write K is also equal to E0 by E. So you may define the dielectric constant as a ratio of the capacitance of a capacitor with medium between the plates to the capacitance of the capacitor with air or vacuum between the plates. Or you may define the dielectric constant as a ratio of electric field in air or vacuum to the electric field when there is a dielectric medium. In my notes that I've sent you, I've also defined this K in terms of force and permittivity. Please go through the notes in that also. So this is two derivations that we have done today. One with capacitance of the capacitor with just air between the plates, and now here capacitance of the capacitor with the dielectric medium between the plates. We'll deal with the last topic in the next session. Thank you.